It's Beast Mode time! Beasts and Beastettes, welcome back to the Beast Army. Today, we're talking about fear. We're talking about breaking out of that comfort zone. And how do we do it? It's like, how do I do it, Knight Rider? I'm gonna tell you, at least some ways. Not necessarily a comprehensive guide, but in a couple minutes, I want to just give my general thoughts on how you can get out of that comfort zone. Get past that fear. First of all, I'm going to say something that's maybe a little counterintuitive. If you are experiencing large amounts of fear, a lot of times that's because you are fearing the potential outcome, the negative potential outcome of what may happen. But a lot of people try to avoid actually thinking about what specifically that negative outcome may be in an analytical manner. They kind of just fear the general, like, oh, I don't know, some bad stuff's going to happen. I don't know, I'm going to fail, get rejected. And they kind of cower away from it. But how about if you actually go straight into it? You try to calm yourself, take yourself away from the situation for a moment and just analytically think about what's going on. What is the absolute worst thing that could happen realistically? Okay, if you try to start the business, like, are you going to die? No. If you go up and say hi to the cute girl, are you going to die? No. You'll be fine. So what's realistically the worst thing that's going to happen? You start the business, it doesn't work. Okay, so then what? Then nothing. Or maybe you have to invest a lot of money in the, okay, so you're like, all right, I want to open up like a physical location. It's going to cost me like 90 G's and I only have like 100 G's. So if it doesn't work out, all my savings is gone. So first of all, I mean, just obviously from an analytical standpoint, you want to do the costs and the risks and is it worth it, right? And then I would also, just as a separate recommendation, say, is there another business that I can start, which does not require so much capital, is a little bit less risky, but can still have the same or close to the same benefits? A lot of times there is, we just maybe want to do the one thing that's right in front of our face. We don't necessarily think outside of the box and say, hey, are there other things I could do that don't require me to risk all the money? But maybe that's the one thing you want to do. That's your passion. You're like, oh, I want to open up like a yoga studio and I have the money and I don't know. Okay, so that's your one passion. That's what you want to do. That's the business you want to start. Okay, it is what it is. What happens if you invest the 90K or whatever it is and it doesn't work out? Well, then you're broke. Okay, then what? Then you go get a job if you can't have yourself be self-employed some other way. So you go get a job and then what? Okay, what? Maybe you got to downgrade like your E-Class Mercedes down to, a couple-year-old Toyota Camry. Okay, is life over? No. Functionally, did you lose anything? No. Okay, so maybe you were living in kind of a decent 3-bedroom, 2-bath house and you have to downgrade to a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment or something. Is it a little bit less nice? Yeah. Did you really lose anything? No. Aesthetically, it's less nice. Functionally, did you lose anything? No, you can still do the same stuff. Do you still have food in the fridge? Yes. Can you afford to go out to eat at fancy restaurants as often? Maybe not, but you can still eat. You still have clothes on your back. You can still afford a car. You can still go out and get a job. You still have a roof over your head. You still have a mattress to sleep on at night. What's really all that bad? Did anything really all that bad happen? You want to go talk to the girl. Okay, what's the worst that happens? She says no, right? Maybe her boyfriend shows up or her friends snicker at you. Look at that loser. He tried to talk to the girl and didn't work out. Okay, so what really happened? Focus on what's the worst, semi-realistic outcome that could happen. You lose all the money or you fail. That's pretty much it. It's not the end of the world. Once you face head on the absolute worst scenario, it's liberating because you realize, hey, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to die. I'm still going to be okay. I'm still going to have a roof over my head. I'm still going to have food in the fridge. I'm still going to have some form of transportation. It's okay. When people are scared of something, they tend to minimize the negative repercussions in their mind. So if they want to go talk to the girl and they're scared, what are they telling themselves in their mind other than, I might fail, right? But what are they saying about them not taking the action? They're saying, it's not that big of a deal. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it with the next girl. I got to get a little haircut and I'm not clean shaven today. I'll talk to her tomorrow. I'll talk to her next week, next time. Yeah. Oh, she's on her phone. I'll catch her at a more convenient time. Yeah, excuse after excuse after excuse, trying to mitigate the negative outcome of the situation. It's not that important. Isn't that what we always try to tell ourselves when we're scared of something? Well, if we don't do it, it's not that big of a deal. We try to make ourselves feel, but it's okay if I don't overcome my fear. It's okay if I can't get beyond my comfort zone. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. So how about this? Do the opposite. Start blowing it up in your mind. This is probably something you'll notice that I do to myself just through watching my videos. You'll notice I'm hard on myself. I consciously make a decision to be hard on myself because I know nobody else is ever going to be hard on me for me. I need to be hard on myself. So if I do something I know that I was supposed to do and I didn't do it and it doesn't have to be fear. I mean, this applies to everything. It's because I was scared. It was outside of my comfort zone. Because I'm just lazy. I'm procrastinating. I'm doing lower priority things. It doesn't matter what it is. You need to blow it up in your head. So there's a saying. I can't remember who said it. If you're not willing to do something 1,000 times, you shouldn't do it once. I would say the inverse of that is true. If you're not willing to not do something 1,000 times, you shouldn't not do it once. Now, if that didn't make sense, let me say it. So if you, let's go back to the talking to the girl. Okay, if you are not willing to not talk to a girl you are attracted to 1,000 times, if you're willing to wuss out 1,000 times, if you don't want that to happen, don't let it happen once. If you wrote a book and you're scared to publish the book or you want to do, it's not quite ready, it's not quite perfect, I just want to do another run through because you're scared, it's not going to work, right? So unless you're willing to not publish the book 1,000 times, don't not publish the book the first time. That's what I'm talking about. Make it big in your head. Expand the problem. Be like, hey, this is a big problem. Everybody else will look at it from the outside. Hey, dude, it's not that big of a deal. No, it is a big deal. This is your life we're talking about. The decision you make today is, dude, people don't change that much. Stop kidding yourself. If you're too much of a wuss today, you're going to be too much of a wuss tomorrow. All right, so you need to man up a little bit, woman up a little bit today in order to make the correct decision tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. Blow it up in your mind. Additionally, things splinter, at least for me in my life. So if I am making more money, for example, I can then afford higher quality bodybuilding friendly foods that are easier to take less preparation time. I just have more money, so I have more options with food and beverage, right? So therefore, I'm taking in higher quality foods and beverage, which means my body will then respond a little bit. It'll look a little bit better. That will then motivate me more at the gym because I'm looking a little bit better. I go to the gym more, and then that further continues the momentum, and my body gets even better, which then comes back to the diet, and I get even more serious about my diet, which makes my body look even better. Then my body looks all good, and then because I was originally making more money, right? So now I'm making more money, and I have a better body, so now I can get in a more fulfilling intimate relationship. I can attract higher quality mate, right? So, and now because I have a higher quality mate, I want to treat her well and do good things. And I want to live in a nicer place, take care of her, go on vacations. So that goes back to business. Now I'm more motivated to make more money. It just keeps, dude, it's a snowball effect. It splinters out, but it goes the other way too. So if you're going, I want to start this business, I want to open up this business, but you're too scared. Well, come on. Let's be realistic. You think that's the only thing in life you're going to be too scared to pull the trigger on? If you're too scared to do that, it's going to splinter off. You're going to be too scared to ask the girl out or the guy out. You're going to be too scared to go to the gym because you don't think you're going to get the results that you want. You're like, I don't think that I have a thyroid problem. I'm just genetically like this. I'm never going to look like one of those skinny cover girl models or I'm never going to have 20-inch biceps if you're a guy. And right, you're going to be fearful of everything. Your life, some people are more compartmentalized than I am. And if you know you're one of those people, you can kind of ignore this point. But for me, my life is not very compartmentalized. I'm kind of succeeding in one and therefore all the areas of my life, or I'm kind of start failing in one and therefore all the areas of my life. They're intertwined. My life is intertwined. So if you feel the same thing, where if you're one of those people where you kind of feel like when one thing starts going wrong, all of a sudden like a whole bunch of other things start going wrong, yeah, that's because your life is intertwined. So use that to your advantage in your mind. when you see one thing that you're scared of, be like, hey man, if I'm too scared to do this, I'm gonna be too scared to do a whole bunch of other things that aren't even related to this, just because I don't have the willpower to push through the things that I am fearful of, because I don't have the willpower, because I can't man up, woman up to push through the things that are outside of my comfort zone. So that's a few things that I do to try to get over fear and to try to get out of my comfort zone. I'm not saying this applies to 100% of people, but I know it'll apply to some of you. Be great.